On the phone line, Kendra McMillan, who's a senior policy advisor for nursing practice and work environment with the American Nurses Association. And, of course, Kendra is also a registered nurse with a master's degree in public health. Good morning, Kendra, and happy Nurses Appreciation Week.
Good morning, and thank you.
I felt so bad yesterday watching the nurses at the White House, and one kept it real and got a little embarrassed. But not trying to make this political, but just trying to make it factual.
Yeah.
There aren't enough PPEs, protective suits for everybody, all the nurses. They're not being accurate. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that is what we are still hearing and seeing on the front lines. Where is the PPE? And, we are still operating in what we're considering a crisis state and implementing crisis strategies with the reuse or extended use of PPE. And we are continuing to advocate aggressively for access to new and unused PPE so that our nurses and our healthcare workers can do their jobs with the protection they need.
I think one of the big questions that I'm constantly getting from a lot of especially African-American listeners is basically, I have a comorbidity. If I get that, does that mean that's a wrap for me no matter what?
No, it doesn't mean that that's a wrap. But, I think this highlights the importance of making sure that, if you have an underlying diagnosis such as hypertension, diabetes, asthma, that you are in touch with your primary care provider, that your diagnosis is well managed and monitored, and that you also have the medication that you need. Should you have to undergo a 14-day quarantine, making sure that, you have your medication to continue with your daily dosing, but also to minimize the amount of time that you are out. Take the necessary precautions to protect yourself. Make sure you're frequently washing your hands. Make sure that if you do have to go out, you can utilize the hours that are designated for vulnerable populations, particularly at the grocery store. Only go out to pick up those essential items, and then making sure that if you can, have a 90-day supply of medication on hand to limit your time in the grocery store or pharmacy.
So basically, they're opening up the country. A lot of places and states will be opened up this weekend. From your medical opinion from you, is it too soon?
Yes. So, we talked about this, we touched on it, I believe, a couple of interviews back, and it's too soon. Some places have been able to show some success with flattening the curve. Others, we're still seeing the number of cases rise, while we may see the number of deaths decline. Having said that, there's still places that don't have enough tests. And there's still places that don't have the necessary systems in place for contact tracing to let those know who have been exposed that they need to stay home and quarantine. And so, the concern is if we're opening now, then there's going to be the second wave of cases, and we haven't even gotten on top of the first wave that we've experienced. And some states, if you follow the maps, are just starting to see the beginning of their surge, and yet they're reopening. I think we're in a difficult place because we are at, high rates of unemployment, and our economy has taken a hit. But at the same time, we need to make sure that, our health is protected and the necessary systems are in place so that we can reopen safely.
Well, I think the way I kind of look at it is you work and you will die. You can die, or you work and you'll die. There's that's a possibility because we don't know. We have no testing, and I don't believe that our government is going to do that. Kendra, I thank you so much. We're going to talk to you next week. Kendra McMillan, a senior policy advisor for nursing practice and work environment with the American Nurses Association. And again, the Coronavirus Response Fund, great day to help out nurses during a Nurses Appreciation Week. If you can just text thanks to 20222 to make a $10 donation, we appreciate it. Kendra, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time this morning.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.